Because I never compared myself to any other player. I won't start doing that now. And you shouldn't compare yourself to anybody else. And you doggone right shouldn't worry about the people who don't like you. Everyone has their own greatness. And you reach your own greatness depends on your environment, your structure, company you keep, and your attitude.
The morning mist rolls across the Louisiana Bayou as the sun rises over St. Rose, painting the sky in shades of amber and gold. In this small community where everyone knows your name and your story, a young boy named Ed Reed is about to begin writing his own legendary tale. Born into a world where hard work wasn't just encouraged but required, Ed learned early that nothing worth having comes easy. His family understood sacrifice. His mother worked tirelessly to provide, while his father taught him that respect is earned through actions, not words. The streets of St. Rose weren't paved with gold, but they were lined with lessons that would shape a future Hall of Famer. As Ed grew, so did his reputation on the football fields of Louisiana. At Destrehan High School, something magical happened every time he stepped between those white lines. While other kids saw a football game, Ed saw chess pieces moving across a board. He didn't just play defense, he orchestrated it, reading quarterbacks' minds before they knew their own intentions. But greatness isn't born overnight. Long after practice ended and the lights went out, Ed stayed behind, studying film until his eyes burned. He memorized formations, tendencies, and tells that most players never bothered to notice. His coaches saw something special, but even they couldn't have predicted the legend that was about to unfold. The call came from the University of Miami, and suddenly Ed Reed found himself in Coral Gables, wearing the orange and green of the Hurricanes. This wasn't just any college program. This was a dynasty in the making. The early 2000s Miami Hurricanes were assembling what many consider the greatest college football team ever fielded. Under the blazing Florida sun, Ed transformed from a promising high school star into a defensive mastermind. He didn't just intercept passes, he seemed to will them into existence through sheer anticipation and preparation. His teammates watched in awe as he'd call out plays before they happened, his instinct so sharp they bordered on supernatural. The 2001 season was pure magic. Every Saturday, Ed and his Hurricane teammates took the field like warriors heading into battle. They didn't just win games, they dominated them with a ferocity that left opponents questioning their career choices. When the dust settled and the confetti fell, Miami stood atop college football with a perfect record and a national championship trophy. But for Ed, individual accolades meant nothing without team success. He understood that football is the ultimate team sport, where 11 hearts must beat as one. His leadership wasn't loud or flashy. It was the quiet confidence that made everyone around him better. The 2002 NFL Draft couldn't come fast enough for scouts who had watched Ed Reed rewrite the safety position. When the Baltimore Ravens selected him in the first round, they weren't just getting a player. They were adding the final piece to what would become one of history's most dominant defenses. Walking into the Ravens facility for the first time, Ed felt the weight of expectations. Baltimore was a city built on steel and sweat, where fans demanded authenticity and effort above all else. The purple and black uniform felt like destiny as Ed began to understand his role in the Ravens' defensive machine. From his very first practice, teammates knew they were witnessing something special. Ed's preparation was legendary. He'd arrive at the facility before dawn, studying film with the intensity of a scholar preparing for finals. He didn't just know his assignments, he understood how every player on the field would react in any given situation. The 2004 season marked Ed's arrival as an elite NFL safety. Week after week, he made plays that defied logic and physics. Quarterbacks who had tormented defenses for years suddenly found themselves throwing into coverage that seemed to appear from nowhere. Ed wasn't just playing safety. He was reinventing the position. Then came November 7th, 2004, a date forever etched in NFL history. Against the Cleveland Browns, Ed intercepted a pass and began what would become the longest interception return in league history. 107 yards later, after weaving through would-be tacklers like a man possessed, Ed crossed the goal line and into immortality. The moment was pure poetry in motion. Fans erupted as Ed sprinted down that sideline, his purple jersey flowing behind him like a cape. For 107 yards, time stood still as greatness unfolded before 60,000 witnesses. It wasn't just a touchdown. It was art, painted on the canvas of a football field. Season after season, Ed continued to redefine excellence. His 2004 Defensive Player of the Year award was merely confirmation of what everyone already knew. He had become the most dangerous defensive back in football. Opposing coaches spent sleepless nights devising ways to avoid throwing anywhere near his vicinity. But individual awards meant little compared to the ultimate prize that continued to elude him. Super Bowl rings are the currency of NFL greatness, and Ed watched year after year as other teams celebrated championships while his Ravens fell just short. The years passed, and Ed's legend grew. 9 Pro Bowl selections, 5 All-Pro honors, and a reputation as the most feared safety in football. He became the face of Baltimore's defense, a unit so dominant that even its nickname, the Ravens' secondary, became known as the Legion of Whom, struck fear into offensive coordinators across the league. By 2012, time was becoming Ed's greatest opponent. At 34, he understood that championship windows don't stay open forever. The Ravens had assembled another special defense, but this felt like a last chance for the aging superstar to claim the prize that had haunted his dreams. The 2012 playoff run was magical from the beginning. Every game felt like destiny calling Ed's name. In the divisional round against Denver, he made crucial plays that kept the Ravens alive. The AFC Championship brought more heroics as Baltimore punched their ticket to Super Bowl 47. February 3, 2013, in New Orleans, the very state where Ed's journey began. The Mercedes-Benz Superdome buzzed with electricity as the Ravens faced the San Francisco 49ers for the NFL championship. For Ed, this wasn't just another game. It was validation for every hour of film study, every extra rep, every sacrifice made along the way. When the final seconds ticked away and the Ravens stood victorious, Ed's emotions overwhelmed him. Tears mixed with sweat as he held that Lombardi trophy, knowing that his journey from Saint Rose to the mountaintop was finally complete. The kid from Louisiana had become a champion. After Baltimore, Ed's career took unexpected turns. Brief stops in Houston and New York reminded everyone that even legends must eventually pass the torch. But his impact on the game extended far beyond statistics and highlight reels. In 2019, Ed Reed took his rightful place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Standing at that podium in Canton, Ohio, he reflected on a journey that began in the Louisiana Bayou and reached the pinnacle of professional football. His gold jacket represented more than individual excellence. It symbolized the power of preparation, dedication, and unwavering belief. Today, Ed Reed's legacy lives on through the young players he mentors and coaches. His impact on the safety position changed how defenses are played at every level. But perhaps more importantly, he showed that greatness isn't just about physical ability. It's about the relentless pursuit of perfection and the courage to dream beyond your circumstances. From St. Rose to Canton, Ed Reed's story reminds us that legends aren't born. They're forged through countless hours of preparation, unwavering determination, and an unshakable belief that excellence is not a destination, but a way of life.